look, he wasn't playing every game for Frank, so it's a little bit different for him. He's played in the last 3 matches. To be honest, he's done well. It suits him, the 3 at the back. It gives him the license to that he doesn't have to recover that much area, when they lose the ball. And we all know about Chunjel. Tactically, he's somebody that studies the game really well. He's coached on a high level with big players. Don't forget that. So he's coming to the door a little bit different than Frank. So and we all know how it is as football players when you're sitting there in a dressing room and a manager like that comes in. The first few weeks it is hey, I need to prove myself here. So and I think that's what they're doing.
I think he's proved himself on the training field. Obviously, it was really interesting to hear Jorginho talk there about his message is clear. It's not too complicated, and the cleverer footballers with the highest IQ on the pitch will play. And Jorginho is certainly one of those. He dictates the play. He dictates the tempo of the play. He understands what the manager wants, and he applies it onto the pitch. And I think Kovacic alongside him also understands. Played at some of the highest. They play big games, both of them, all over Europe. They understand the game. They understand tactics of the game. It's not all about getting Kante on the pitch, who can eat up the ground and go and roll someone over and win the ball back as quick as possible. Sometimes when he come on, he nearly hurt him. Chelsea tonight, Kante kept turning over possession at the wrong time. Whereas Jorginho and Kovacic, every time the ball went into them, it was like the reference. They kept the ball. They knew when to speed it up. They knew when to slow it down. And I think that's a clear message from Thomas Tuchel there. He's gone with the 3. Everyone knows their jobs. So when you come off the pitch, they know if they've done a good job or not. They know if they've played well. Some of them still need to improve. Timo Werner needs to improve. Not sure what his role is at the moment. I think they were far better when they got a big guy up there, maybe a Tammy Abraham or Giroud. But they're going to have to persevere with Timo Werner and Havertz. They paid a lot of money for him, and he's going to have to integrate him into the side, but not... he cannot put him in if it's going to mean that they start losing football matches, because, like I said, he needs to win. He needs to get out there in the top 4, but he's on track to be able to do that.
That's interesting. Just for clarification, where did you come in the IQ test list?
My IQ was very good. I think I lacked the mobility a little bit, but I think I understood what the manager wanted and I applied it.
Share with the pundit and share with the player. Talking of Timo Werner, he was involved in the penalty incident. There wasn't any debate about this, Jimmy, was there? I don't know what the IQ test was in this one.
No, and this is typical Werner, his run, getting behind the defence. And he's very smart, as Tim said earlier. He knows it's coming, put his foot in front of Dyer's foot, and what Dyer is doing is diabolical here. Why? You don't have to do it. He can't have a shot away. Alderweireld is still protecting here. It's a penalty.
You looked at that angle there was perfect from Timo Werner. He sees it. He doesn't even try to toe the ball away. All he knows he has to do is get his foot that side of Eric Dyer and let him kick him, and that's exactly what he did. And he would look like... I always think when he steps up, he's never going to miss.
Where are you on penalty styles, Tim?
I love this one. Anyone what ends up in the back of the net, I'm really pleased with.
and you're right. Yeah. As simple as that. Just put it in the back of the net.
12 from 15 from the spot for Jorginho. That was the goal that won it. Let's get some more Chelsea player reaction. Here are the thoughts of Mason Mount.
Mason, was that a deserved win? You had pretty much good control in the majority of the game.
Yeah, I think we had a lot of control in the first half. We should have scored more in the game. I had a couple chances. We had a couple other chances where we should be way more clinical in front of goal, and that's something that we need to work on, me, myself as well. But no, I think we had good possession throughout the game. It's always tough to come here and control it throughout because they go forward, they push for the goal. They knew there was 1-0 down at the end, so they're trying to get an equaliser. So it always makes it tough to kind of have that control throughout. But no, I thought we played very well.
Yeah, but tactically, it looked like you had the edge from the start. You were overloads, wing backs pushing on. It was causing Spurs a lot of trouble.
Yeah, that's what we kind of looked at before. It's the style the manager wants us to play. and it's been working well. So yeah, it's something that we need to keep working at. It's new. It's different for some of us players, especially me today, maybe playing a bit as a kind of false 9 and then dropping into the 10 and helping the midfield out. So we're all learning, but yeah, it's obviously going well so far.
And Thomas is going to keep changing this system. He said before the game he's going to try different tactics, different people in different places.
Yeah, and that's obviously a positive for us, and it makes it difficult for any team we play against. They don't know what we're going to come with. So yeah, we're obviously working on it day in, day out in training, different formations, different tactics, and yeah, we're just focused on trying to keep getting better and better and getting them wins.
And maybe just a bit more killer instinct. Is that what he's going to say to you?
Yeah.
I saw you go down the tunnel with him and around the shoulder. What was the discussion there?
No, I just said I should have had 1 or 2 definitely, and we spoke about it at half time as well. Just be clinical and go with a purpose and want to score. I mean, I didn't have my shooting boots on today, so something that I'll work on during the week. And it's a bit different. I've been playing a bit deeper, so to being up in the box a bit more, I need to work on that finishing. So hopefully it can come.
That was really insightful about the change in style from one manager to the other. He started more games under Frank Lampard than anybody else. He didn't start Thomas Tuchel's first, but he's going to start plenty, isn't he?
He's going to start plenty. But how refreshing to see him and to hear what he's got to say. You know, what a lovely kid, but also lots of ability he has. And interesting how we play today and the position. You know, false 9, number 10, helping the defense out. He's got so much more to come, that kid. So much more to come. We were talking earlier, you know, off the show. You know, he's rushing at time a little bit. His last little bit to score. Because he's so eager, he just wants to prove himself so much, and he doesn't have to. He just has to take one step back, and it will come itself. He's got so much natural talent, you know, and yeah, nice to hear him speak.
Yeah, he's coming to a lot of stick, Mason Mount, unfairly.
Yeah,
you know, because Frank Lampard was there, Joe Edwards, Jody Morris from the academy. Start brainwashing people, perhaps up higher, that he's playing because he's the favourite, he's the teacher's pet. Let me tell you, he'll be Thomas Tuchel's teacher's pet as well, because he's such a good player. And he does exactly what the manager wants him to do. No matter if you play him there as a false 9 or as an 8 or as a 6, he will try to do what the team needs. And he'll work hard every day in training to try and achieve it. I'll tell you who he teaches pet of Gareth Southgate, the England manager as well. I mean, the kid's doing something right. It's not because of his favouritism, it's because he's a good player, a top draw player. And they ended up with, today, 4 academy kids. Now, everyone thought Tuchel would come in, get rid of all the academy kids. I was worried for them. And I thought he would just play the price tags, just play the superstars who were coming into there. No, 4 of them played today, played a huge part in that football match today.
Yeah, you're right. That is unfair on Mason Mount, isn't it? With the performances he's put in and the way you hear him speak. In interviews like that.
But we talked about the intelligence. I mean, that is an intelligent footballer. You can see his brain ticking over when he plays. He doesn't only move for himself for self-indulgence. He moves for others as well. He creates space with his movement. He understands when to stand still, when it's needed. Whatever job he does it for the need of the team. And it's not always about self-indulgence and this is what I can do to make Mason Mount better. It's what I can do to make Chelsea Football Club better.
How invaluable are those type of players to a manager?
Oh, they don't come...
They don't fall off trees.
Yeah, you don't see a lot of them. It is so hard to get that mentality, that understanding, that knowing, hey, I need to step out 2 yards here so that the other one has got a little bit more space. And doing that as well for the team. Not a lot of players are prepared to do that. You know, it's that understanding. And sometimes, you know, it's forgotten. But he has that. He has that. And as I said, he has got so much more to come. So much more to come.
Jimmy, do you think he does that, what's needed for the team because he's from the academy and he cares so much, and when you cut him in half, he bleed blue?
I think he just loves football a lot. I just think he is a football person, and that is what you need to do to win. And I don't think that it is... Obviously, he loves Chelsea to bits, but I don't think that he is doing it because of that. I think he's doing it because that's his belief. That's how you have to play football. You know, I think that's the perception that I get from him. Do it the right way. give your 100% on the ball, off the ball.
Yeah.
You know, and a lot of people don't talk about him off the ball. He does so much work off the ball, you know, getting that ball back. Not a lot of people give him that credit. You know, he's got still a long way to go, but he's getting there.
Okay, he talked there quite interestingly about how training was different, the different methods, what the manager wants to do. He's only been there 9 days. You've had another look at them tonight.
Yeah.
What have you noticed in the difference in a Thomas Tuchel Chelsea to Frank Lampard?
Well, Thomas, I've heard him talk before about 5 and 5. We attack with 5 and we defend with 5. And you see it here. The 5, and they freely go. They interchange positions. And they go, they know they've got security of the 5 at the back there. 6 even with the goalkeeper Mendy. And then they just, if you're one of them 5, Jimmy, you almost think, well, I'm free to go. I haven't got to worry about what's behind you. Sometimes you see players running forward and you think, oh, what am I leaving? But they know, because he coaches them on a training pitch, they know if there's 5 forward, they sit and they protect and they stop the counter. And that's exactly what they do in that little box there.
It is actually quite interesting because that is his belief. And Mourinho's belief is totally different. He wants them fullbacks to go back. Now, his players will have more strength to go that way because they are allowed to. They work off the ball, but they know that here and there they can take their rest to go again because they will have 5 behind the ball at all time. You know, so in a way, we would call it back in the day they are cheating. You know, but they're actually not cheating because they know, you know, those players in advanced areas are our outlets. Spurs didn't have those outlets in the first half. They didn't have them because their fullbacks were all the time at the back. It's actually really interesting to see the two different styles.
It's really important to be brave in possession. And when you get good possession through Jorginho, through Kovacic, then it allows the wide players to push on. And then it's sending the Tottenham defenders back. Yeah. And then you win the numbers game. Then you've got them in their own half and you're playing the ball around, overplaying at times, Chelsea, certainly in the first half. Yeah. But they had the counter-attack on the second half. If they had more quality and more clinical in their finishing, they would have scored more goals in the second period. But that is only 3 games with Thomas Tuchel. There's very positive sides for Chelsea fans. If he can do that within 2 weeks of being in a football club, he's not going to get bored coaching these lot. It's like teaching someone to do something new. These boys, I think this is the biggest club he's ever been at. I've said that before. Listen, Paris Saint-Germain, they had 2 world-class players, Mbappe, Neymar, and yes, they had very good players. I don't think he's had a squad of players like this Chelsea squad. Not quality in every position.
I was just going to say that on the bench. Have you seen what is on the bench today?
Well, Jurgen Klopp said, didn't he, the day he arrived? He said,